the past. We'll be loose from oppressions at last. How united we ever will stand for the welfare of all in this land. Hail hooray to our island, St. Andrew, Old Providence and Little St. Catherine. Soon your children will gain to each attainment, every merit whichever received. No more strangers will rule in our home, no injustice to cause us to roam. We have the help of the Almighty above, who shall lead us along in His love. Hail hooray to our island, St. Andrew, Old Providence and Little St. Catherine. Soon your children will gain to each attainment, every merit whichever receive. No more evil on us shall befall. Soon there'll be peace and justice for all. We're together as one in God's might. To gain freedom we'll win every fight. Hail hooray to our island, St. Andrew, Old Providence and Little St. Catherine. Soon your children will gain to each attainment, every merit whichever receive.
Raizal people, it's time for the uprising. Let us rise and shine.
When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when you feel like giving up, as you try to bother him,
when you feel like smiling, but your heart feels so thrilly, yeah. Don't give up, rest if you will, but keep your unbroken will, yeah.
Like the sun, the moon and the stars in the sky. Again and again, lift your head high. So please, don't you cry. He will satisfy.
Once again, me say rise, I shall rise. We don't have time to cry, everything will be fine. We feel stand strong, it's time to move on. We could reach to the stars, to the moon, to the sun.
This is something we want to know if you understand. Rise and people give thanks to the Almighty One. Cause all of the grown are singing song. Rise and shine, so shall sing in a this a song.
Rise and shall rise. Where there is light, there will be hope. Rise and shall rise. Oh, no joy, that is for sure. Rise and shall rise. Starting up strong, I reach for your goal. Rise and shall rise. Let us all unite with one heart and soul.
One day our hearts will no more be born. All the pain and suffering rise up, it will surely work.
The day we come together and stand up with determination, and rise our nation will shout out for liberation. To take back the territory. Cause this land that we fight the free, our big free the chains and bandage of colony.
Far away from home, but still worry about their own. Never strength to not be colonized, therefore it had to run.
Waiting for its diaspora through the island in the sun. Rise and shine, out your rise and all ye daughters and sons, yeah.
And again, it will be nice. Do not yourself minimize. Sense of belonging must be sky high. Stand up strong, rise up, where the sun of the sky.
Leave the eye nights of the row and fear. Just remember joy come when the morning clear. Pray Jaja and put your hand up in the air. In Jaja hand now everything gone clear.
Wake up and live, rise and we soon clear the hill. If we stick together still, no way they could break our will. It's time to be great again. Arise and shine. Wake up and live. Booyaka, sayaka, mayaka. To free oneself from this corruption, so there will be no more pollution from colonizers, botheration. In the name of the creator of creation.
Line ho, uyu line lelo mana wanzelu. Line ho,
Line ho, uyu line lelo mana mwana wanzeru kukacha mama wa amatengadzaje kusesa pakomo pamaivaje
kukacha mama
early morning
amatengadzaje
kusesa pakomo pamaivaje
magolo
aline
amuyamikira
akuti line lero mwana mene mwana wanzeru
magolo aline amuyamikira
akuti line lero mwana mene mwana wanzeru line uyu line lero mwana mene mwana wanzeru
gogo wana madingo namuyamikira kuti na madingo mwana mene mwana wanzeru agide gogo wana madingo namuyamikira
kuti na madingo mwana mene
mwana wanzeru
simukuna magogo
talizina
mwe malota ine bambo wanga atandisiye
ndasalandeka talizina
mwe ni malota ine bambo wanga atamwalira
ndasalandeka gondo mama gondo une mama mwe gondo mama chalamanda
zafera moenda we gondo mama gondo une mama mwe gondo mama chalamanda zafera moenda we
nangomva mbiliyo tumaona lero nangomva mbiliyo tumaona lero agidesi aimbaye zogoma tumaona lero
ndipo chalamanda aimbaye zogoma tumaona lero
ndamva kuti mwakwatira mwabala mwana woyera zina lache musolo
unamva kwandani kuti ndakwatira
ndamva kuti mwakwatira mwabala mwana woyera zina lache musolo
nangopanga chingoso kwatunza kuitamani musolo mai musolo mai
mwana mene ndamai wache ndikufuna ndipite nawo kuyuke mwana mene ndamai wache ndikufuna ndipite nawo kuyuke mapunziro onse akapunzire kuyuke
mapunziro onse
apunzire kuyuke
namba komatimbeko chemeri kunali chemeri kunali
chemeri mama mwe
iya meri mwe iya gale kunali chemeri iya meri mwe iya gale
chemeri
ipe kubongoma bacha iya meri mwe iya gale kunali chemeri
akafuna kunenana
Agidesi inabwana tabgera nikuno
akafuna kunenana
chalamanda inabwana tabgera nikuno
akafuna kunenana
Agidesi inabwana tabgera nikuno sinali choncho kale ntawi ya Napolo Wajabe Napolo Wajabe
Watengaingalamu ukataya kumtenga kutuma kaidu katola kobela dona nalira maiwe Wajabe Napolo Wajabe
Malizendi Buffalo Soldier Buffalo America Buffalo Soldier Buffalo America
Tioto no, Tioto. Emana pe malao ya tigi bere no ge no ya fien. Emana pe no bare, agi pe no fien. Emana pe no bare na o, agi pe no fien o. Owa no we bono rebu yen gi to imi ya we gi mi ya we. No bare ga ki wala o na ge ke na u. Imi no bare ga e bona no ni mane to bele o. E kware gi agbe. Pareki ya mume o. Momenta iwe momenyi, momenta mulele uasaka muse. Asaka si ye, saka si ye. me o. Aga we na mo wa we no nya we izo wo bona mu. Don't man no here set la gata ma me na me ya la ni bu na e na. Esu su wi en gbo wo kan un ni la bi e ge e yan yi ge yo. Omo no ma da ne jon wa ma ge me ono na ne jon pe. Abo kan no ma da ne jon wa ma ge me ono na ne jon pe o. Ma ge ata ne jon. Oba me ge yi ti e bo o. Ma ge ata ne jon. Eni ka o ge ni e gbe na o. Urupano to bane to oba no so pa oba mena oba e wa o gidi gan renu boke va mena o oba no yere ku e oga yo go ni ti o oba re ki e bo eni ka o no ge ni e wi na o.
Definitely. Let's try again. See if hello. Having real serious technical problem this month. Hello. Okay, it seems like the sounding is out this time. So we apologize for all this situation this morning. Let's get to our points. We extend a wide greetings to the teachers in the Teachers' Day, to all the teachers that play such a key role in the edification of society. They are next to the parents and the family that take care. They provide more than information and the accumulation of information, but they build in us values that make us an integral person. And we celebrate that. We celebrate Teachers' Day to uplift you, dear teachers. We go now into our topic until our guests came in. We have a guest from the Raizal Council from Providence to share with us about the reconstruction of the islands of Providence and Ketlina. While being our brother get to connect, I will go advancing with some other issue around accountability of the Raizal Council, the Raizal Authority. We do share here some of the legal action that the Raizal Authority had been doing for a while as it get to better its institutional capacity. I have been able to have a staff of attorney lawyers working along with us. So we take step in issues like land and territory that is vital for us, the Raizal people. I could say, like the case of the SAI, the Sociedad de Activos Especiales, which is the office of the Colombian government that manage the lands and in general goods that they take away from drugs traffic and drug dealers. We have been developing up timely a case against this office through the bad management that we consider they are doing, lack of transparency of consulting with the Raizal people for have the destination of these goods, lands, and so in general, for the benefit of the people, the Raizal people. That's a case that's going on. We share much of it already in past programs, and we continue advancing in this with determination. As well, we are pending legally, around the issue of one of those lands that the SAI had and delivered to the Gobernación, and had been invaded by a lot of families that deal and squat there in an exaggerated amount of number and abusefully take over the land that by law should be destinated to the Raizal people in social projects. We are in this also, in this accompanying this process pending to take legal action. Eh, as well, we welcome Bas Edgardo and the Raizal diaspora here again this morning, been accompanying us in all these series, chapters of the accountability report. Good morning, Pastor.
Good morning, brother Jairo. Greetings to everyone on the islands, and just glad to be here again this morning. I'd like to,
Excellent.
yeah,
We know you have some health issue with your ankle, your foot, and we just trust that you are getting better with that.
yes, I'm here still dragging, still staying home. I'm trying not to go out at all because I can't walk on the foot for several weeks. So I'm just staying home, taking a little break and doing some work from home. So, but
Fine.
it's a pleasure to be here this morning again.
Thank you so much. We highly appreciate your always your support and your you are just like you are here in the archipelago with much presence than majority. We are sharing the legal case that the Raizal Council are doing, and we don't share a couple of them our own lands, lands and territory, like those with the Sai. And I mentioned here a third case, which is the we step in to help defend the Raizal people that somehow are getting harassed by the office uh, as they try to vinculate them in process that they are doing for members that they consider, people that they consider involved in drugs trafficking. And we find many cases where it seems like they try to vinculate families or people that really don't have anything to do, and they are, trying to take away their lands and they build their houses, having them paying rent. And that's the next issue that we step into to defend those ancestral lands of these people get that they bought with the effort of their themselves or their parents or ancestor. Sorry. In governance, we looking around to take some step at this time. We just put in some request information from is the government. In for example, the matter that we consider that the member of the Raizal Assembly should be Raizal. I'm sorry, of the Assembly, we call it Asamblea Departamental Assembly, should be Raizal according to the interpretation given to the law. And we request information also looking to exact that we consider that the governor also should be a Raizal person, based on the interpretation again given to the law. Okay. We in education and culture we take step. We never succeed. We haven't succeeded yet, but the work is still going on. Is toward a law that they take out last year, what they call the Afro-Raizalidad in the schools and so forth, which we think should be consulted with us, the Raizal people, didn't take in account or reclaim, and they went through, and that lies in force. We don't see it like a law that barn really toward the concern of the Raizal people, but those a step done to might be defend more than the Raizal people, others that are not Raizal, to continue holding, jobs in the archipelago, public jobs. I don't know if you have anything to say there, Bastia. Up to-
Yeah, well, yeah, those are interesting steps, um, especially the one with the legal defense of Raizal families and ancestral lands. You all had the meeting last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago, and so we just need to keep moving forward with that. Because there are many families, and maybe some of them we don't even know all of them. But I
Right.
think when they come together and work with force, I think some good result will come out from that one. I didn't understand the last one you mentioned, Jairo, is the one with the right racialidad.
Yeah, that's the one where they they approve. Remember the representative?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So the law is already in force.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Let's say something here around this affair with this exacting by law that the public implies they must talk um, the language of the Raizal people. Call it Creole or English Creole or English. Is something that exists long ago, and we celebrate it like an accomplishment respecting the linguistic right of the Raizal people, and is a right, linguistic right, connected with the right to work. But in the bottom, we believe that is lacking certain things because the right to work shouldn't be associated exclusively and only toward the matter of the language. As once the president of the Constitutional Court of Colombia explained, in an informal way, if it does that, the necessity and the need of the people, the Raizal people, the issue of the language in the public office, he said, then if I bring a North American that talk the language to work and have the work them in the island, if that will satisfy us, is that really what we want? And it was illustrated clearly that it go farther than the language. The work should be a criteria where the work should be for prioritarily for the racial people because this is their territory and they suffer in a situation of overpopulation that have them being displaced directly or indirectly leaving their territory. So this other still exists around those holding around that linguistic right and that connection with the right to work, and then it's a struggle now since someone win a case some years ago that exact that right, you know, and exactly that only the English then should that not the English exactly that they should talk, but the Creole English. So it had been lift up a race to find the way now to the people them that want to work in government to learn the language, and so it causing and it's showing a lacking of something else more than the exacting the and defending the linguistic right of the people, you know. So this is the situation around.
Yeah. Yeah. The right for public employees. Um, I agree. To speak Raizal, a Creole or an English should not be just, like how I remember the first time I went, like, I think it was Trinidad or one of those countries. Me and Mr. Dolph went long time, maybe like in the 90s, late 90s. And you walk into any of these airports in the Caribbean, and obviously all you see are the natives from that place working. But I think everything is connected again to the overpopulation. because that same pressure that we have for jobs is the same pressure that we have on our environment, the same pressure we have on our land. You know what I mean? Is the overpopulation create those stresses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is not going to solve, because if you have all these people living on the island, everybody have to work. You know, Raizal and non-Raizal have to work to live. So until that problem of overpopulation is not solved, this
Mm-hmm.
situation, just with the other issues with land and so on, um, the environment, the social issues, the same thing with the work is not going to be solved. You see what I mean? So
Yeah.
don't care what principles you apply, which I know I agree that I agree what you're saying. It shouldn't be based on language, but the priority. But still, yet everybody have to work, and we don't have that many work for people on the island. So until we don't solve that problem and
Yeah.
move out people, then we're going to continue having this kind of situation.
Yeah. No, you're totally right. You're totally right, because the law that created exactly the language, the talking of the Creole, um, our people welcome it more than anything else, precisely through the situation of overpopulation. You know, for them to be competing to the few work that this territory can manage, they
Exactly.
happily hold on that. So they see it like you know, a safeguard for the work when it
Exactly.
when it shouldn't be, because one thing is the language and one thing is the right to work. You know, to have a work and to survive. So they use it because we are on a cows. We are living on a cows on the island, and people are just pushing to survive, not even to live. You know.
Exactly. For example, the one that you mentioned earlier, also like to be in the assembly, to be governor, even Congress, that they should be Raisal. Well, that is not going to happen because they are the majority. So watch on Mendes. How many time Mendes is they have a majority votation, and so that is the only one maybe that I think can be solved immediately if the law require that only Raisal can be members. You know what I mean? Because then that is something that would be fixed. But then still you would have a human problem issue, because even though the other people are not from there, they have rights too, but the government have to secure their rights somewhere else, not 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 in the island.
Yeah. Sure. That's the reason why we mentioned to say that the there is a problem, a great problem in the on the archipelago, overpopulation in the bottom of it, no?
Yeah.
And the government try to use approaches, you know, to solve the problem that is not really the right thing to apply. Like this
Hmm.
kind of a population. That's what we're explaining. So they come up and say, okay, we are using the right of the linguistic right of a people, like this case, the Raizal people, that they should be attended in their language in public offices by public functionaries, employees. Okay, fine. That sounds good, and it sounds good if you look on it from the perspective exclusively as linguistic right as a people that exist on San Andres and all part of the world. That link, you know.
Yeah.
But then it is being used and associated as a way in a competence to hold the work, not the enjoyment of the real linguistic right. But yeah,
Yes.
this is a opportunity for us to hold the work in this savage competition on this territory that is unsustainable because it's too much of us,
Yes.
and it moves that kind of way.
Ex-
So that's why we
yeah.
highlight and we say that it shouldn't be, and it's lacking something else. And
Yes.
the something is one. The thing that is lacking one. If you want to mix up the issue with war, is not the linguistic part, but the right
Hmm.
that people have because it is native. So like how you have the right to govern yourself, And that govern yourself is not only those type of job by election, but even the jobs that are hired is there you have it. But if not, you can have the governor and everybody below the governor is not Raizal and that is not governed by Raizal, you understand?
Sure. Yeah, I think beside the linguistic right, the right to work should be connected or embedded in a broader right to work. You know, prioritizing racial individuals for public office. You know, the language is essential, but cultural and community connection must be also the first option, not just a technical requirement, you know. And also, Hira, for example, in the land issues, because again, we are losing our lands because obviously we don't have the sufficient laws in place to protect it. But you notice something how that they change our culture, Hiro? Just give you an example. You see how we custom with managing land, how that work. You know, like if you have a land and we got full land, you could have walked in at anybody yard behind the go look man gonna shoot. We had the tradition of fencing, but not with them big brick and you maybe wire or so if you got cow or horse. But you could have walked in at anybody land and take up mango and get guava, and we had that tradition, you know. Or I can go, hey, Hiro, let make a plant some yucca or whatever. When an outsider come and buy land, what the first thing they do? Then put up the big brick and fence you up, and you lose access to. Like behind we where we down barrack where we live, I can't go down down the go look mango again because it don't sell out to everybody who buy behind the don't fence up. All them mango tree we used to be behind there. So it's not just the right to have land and to own the land. You know what I mean? It's more than that. It's the collectivity, the sense of collectivity and communality of the land. So it's the same example, you know, it's a different case, but like kind of the same example with the language and work. If I go to an office now, ten who can connect better with you? You go by office by one back, you know, anyone of this public office, you start talk your Creole, they understand what they ask. There's a certain connection. They know you. They don't give you so much problem if something is missing or whatever because they know who you are. They trust you. But when you go to an office now and it's someone who don't know you, can't speak your language, don't even understand nothing about your case, your situation, it make it more complicated and you lose that connection. You know, so it's a lot more, as you said,
Sure.
beyond just the right to the language.
Yeah, but with this case with the language, the law that exactly speaking of the the language of the racial people in public office and by public functionaries that deal with them. We are in a scenario of overpopulation. You know, we are not in the ideal situation. We are in a scenario of overpopulation which not going to be solved uh, quickly.
Mm-hmm.
The state know that. The state know that, and while that going on, it can take decades. You know, so the state keep taking out laws like the one with the language. Okay, in a scenario of overpopulation, not in the
Exactly.
ideal scenario. Okay, so that's why the president of the Constitutional Court said once, if it was in his hand to appoint people to work, you know, he won't rely only on the matter of the language, but if he's doing
Mm-hmm.
got the law that say that it should be racial, him if he got the power to select who want work when the CV or has a bidder get there, him want choose racial because he says the racial territory. You know, we have a caller.
Sure.
Make we see what we do here because we are on good news program. You know, they are not
Okay.
traditional radio. Make we see how they can pass the caller here. Good news. Just tell us, please, here through the chat how you like us to bring in the caller, or we can send him the link if him is
If they
on.
want to talk.
Yeah, we have Dr. Charlie Ritchie. I want to say something here in this topic, attorney. So you can let me send him the link. Give me a chance here. And yeah, so that's the situation. I will get him the link right here. Where we have to the system, the president of the constitutional court make it clear. It's not only the matter of the language. Dr. Charlie, we send you the link there. You can just click there and we bring you in on scene and you participate direct, not necessarily through phone, but with video and audio. We, so it's not only the matter of the language. In this scene that we are in overpopulation, other criteria have to use. Whenever, as you said, whenever we solve a problem of overpopulation, it will be a next situation we deal with, and these requirement for the language and other things will manage in a different way because we have more comfortable and manageable situation. Okay.
So yes, and again, how we have this overpopulation problem, which is really, really serious, more than what we think. Let's put the scenario higher up, brother,
Yeah,
higher up.
let me bring in good news. Let me see if we can get the caller coming in this way. So sorry. Our radio controller at Good News, you could also unmute your mic if you were bringing the caller through there.
Hello, morning.
Okay, good morning, Dr. Richie. Thank you. We're hearing you.
Yes, yes, sir. Hear me, you know. Pastor, God touch two team, and I want to comment the first one. Look, and you speaking about it. Look, when the law say language, it not only mean language, and the law not say it punctually, but it mean it. Where you have to go, accompany the language, you have to have residence. And that's why they take out the 2162. Because when they take out the 2162, they bring in the jurisprudencia that say, hey, when time you want go San Andres, when time you want imply anybody San Andres, anytime you want to take any decision about San Andres, you have to think on the people. You have to think, say, don't San Andres, they don't have big company, they for them space is smaller and the rest of the continent. So you have to have present first the people for them from San Andres. So accompany the language is the people them. The law don't say it, but they mean it. That you call it in Spanish, norma en blanco, you have to go to next law to understand it. And the president of the constitutional court that you talking, Jose, him say it, but he mean it, that what him taking and talking about that is the law say it.
Good.
But you have to go to next law to understand it. Our next thing that get me upset every time I hear about it is the two representante that we gone and take out this Raizal Kurul. Hey, them two, the two space as representative belongs to islanders. Why? One time they were going to take out the Constitution, the Asamblea Nacional Constituyente, one group of people gone Bogota and say, hey, we here say we don't want to go to a constitution and we want to be part of it. We have some project. Okay, yes, we want to be some project. Okay, listen, we want got two representatives, we want to do something. Okay, who them people gone and talk about and put it easier that who them people gone and want put the represent. the Raizal people them, not the people them that come in here. So because if you go and look at convenience, if you go and go look rights for your home, you not going to look rights for the person that you they give catch. You going to look rights and convenience to the people that belongs to your family. So that's why when time the constitution when time the constitution come out, it come out with them two space belongs to islanders. What you go say? What is the problem there? The one islanders them come out and put say, hey, no, only islanders can be. The next people can come out and be and the judge them, the people them believe say anybody can come out and launch out as representante. What in Ghana do after it? Then Ghana put it one islanders and put it say governor can be with just 10 years, live here so and got resident card. No, if in a ethnic people in a ethnic space, who's supposed to go to rule? The ethnic people them. So as knowledge that can tell you all. So what do run and Ghana do? Kurul Raizal, how Kurul Raizal and we don't get to? Entonces, is the sense of it and not explain it by last, as logical. When time the new constitution come out, it come out with the two representatives should be ethnic, it should be Raizal. So when you take what then take and do, then give the two, because when time then everybody talk and say, no, but we is minority. No, we is not minority. We is majority. Why is we majority? Because all the law command on our convenience. And you can be, if you have the law in your favor, you can be minority. You'll be minority by number, but you is majority by law. And all the laws them come out, what support, what convenience the islanders them, the one islanders them take and put the foreigners then in head. How you want come and take one man, you give one man one catch, and then after you want say, hey, I can rule my house, you come out and do something and represent me. How you come and govern? Also, it's illogical. You understand? That's also sorry say they get upset because every time when people talk about this, or say it's not saying no understand. So you carry it as logic, as knowledge. You can't take one person where you give one catch and put them in front of your house. That is logical, that is natural. If the man come in, the man have to be underneath you, you can't be underneath the man where you give one catch. And I left it there so at least we do something to make continue on the program.
Yes. Thank you for your participation, Dr. Richie. Yes.
Yeah, I agree, brother Jairo. I don't even know if I on.
Yeah, yes, you are on.
Because I lose I agree, and we talk about that already. You did mention one time that we no agree with this new idea with the new curul. Fit and take out one new curul, Raizal, because that no one solve the problem, number one, and number two, the two curul is there already. And somebody did come out with that idea already. I don't remember who it was making that argument that we don't need another curul Raizal. We need to, the two curul Raizal is already there. We need to exact that only Raizal can launch out to be representative of the islands. Because otherwise, who will be representing us? And who has been representing us all these years? So it make a little sense, no?
Yes. Yes, that's it. Logically and by common sense is true. I think all of us, liar or no liar,
yeah,
we have that perception about us, a sense of justice, a sense of logic, a sense of common sense. Starting from the fact that this is a ethnic territory. That's the main issue, the main in Spanish you say axioma that we have to make the logical conclusion or analysis. But then you see the state self, the executive power, continue to show resistance against that fact that this is the Raizal territory. We know the Constitutional Court accepting more than one time, recognizing different sentence. But that's the power, how you call it, the judicial power, poder ejecutivo, legislativo, judicial,
Yeah.
judicial power. And the other power, the executive power, hadn't shown to be aligned, and aligning with that pronunciation of the judicial power, like the constitutional court. So they beat around the bush and trying to, find difficult. That's why the negotiation around the Raizal statute, the Statute of Raizal, up to now they don't have an agreement with the executive power around those territorial rights, because they try to find that it is not collective. You cannot associate it like with indigenous and all kind of things. That is one of the issue that hasn't been zero on around the table of negotiation or prior consultation with the Colombian government. But again, I conclude and say, by logical and by common sense, all of us, I believe, racial people, and that sense of justice, we have it, without being an attorney. We agree with Dr.
Yeah.
Richie, in that sense, right?
Yes, and Jairo, again, we go back to Dr. Ralph, Dr. Ralph all the time, the press. Until we don't, like, how to say this? We are dealing with so much different issues, too many, that all of them are consequence of the overpopulation. And until we don't focus fully, completely, intentionally attacking and working on towards reducing the population on the island, like the relocation program and humanitarian program, whatever you want to call it, if we don't reduce the population to a level of carrying capacity, and carrying capacity, Brother Jairo, is not only the environmental aspect of it, because people think say it's just because of the load of contamination and pressure on the environment. Is also on the social aspect, on the work aspect, on the political aspect, on the on all the different the carga, the capacity is for everything. Until we don't solve that problem, we are not going to really do or have any real solution.
Yeah, but I will say to that, that problem will take a long time. We are 20% of the population, uh, and it will take a long time, but I believe that it shouldn't wait and depend on that time. If it will be 20, 30, 40, 50 years to bring a population equilibrium back, on the archipelago. We cannot wait on that time to guarantee and enjoy the political rights that we have as Raizal people to rule our land, and other rights to the jobs and so forth. In the midst of that chaos, of that disaster that we suffering with the overpopulation, we have to exact, because the judicial power agree with us that we are the priority. So the fight have to be legal against the executive power. And that's why we are burning out to ourselves the right to the petition here and there, those playing the fool, interpreting the law to their, best, accommodating it. But we
Mm-hmm.
believe that we don't have to wait. We can be at this time and the following 10, 20, 30, 40 years a numerical minority upon our territory, but that don't give for us to be treated as a political minority. We are the political majority. We are to be the governor. We are to be the assembly. We deputies, and we are to be the representative. We are to hold the jobs them and live dignifiedly on our territory over anybody else. This is hard, So I agree with you. Say we stand up there fighting the
Mm-hmm.
situation of our population, but it will take just the one option of solution that you mentioned, like the plan retorno. You know how difficult it is to get a
Mm-hmm.
significant result from that. Because if you get we take out 1,000 one year, 2,000 come in, or 2,000 between come in and
Exactly.
very
So
difficult. It's very difficult. You have to be provoked by what they call today in human rights that they call positive discrimination. They call it now affirmative measurements to protect
Mm-hmm.
and prioritize the racial people in front of the rest, that they can understand, those majority understand that they are on the territory of an ethnic people, and this is not any other territory. You or you abide by it, or you go to where your origin, where you came from, but you cannot destroy ethnic people by your personal aspiration for a job and for land and so forth.
Exactly. And I mean, I agree with you too. I mean, the only thing what I'm trying to say is that, many times these other things distract us in a way, and we don't put the time and the energy over there. But I agree with you in this sense, because as you were talking, I was thinking on this, brother Hyro. If a law come out, which is already there, it's just the way how it's interpreted, but maybe we just need more clarity that only racial people can work on the island or have the priority to work, and they start giving racial people the jobs, and all the other people can't work. What you think will happen? If I can't work here to the states, what will happen? I'm going somewhere else to look job, not you.
Yeah, you know
So
what?
the law will force the law. If the law come out, the same
Exactly.
law why force.
You see, there is a high theory developed in the world around planning by J. Forrester. I think that's his name. Dynamic system dynamics. He developed that. This is the man that invented the memories for the computers and that we use to today. But he was very deeply knowledgeable in planning cities and so forth. And that what you say is what he is what he called the principle of attraction. Okay, so you don't have to sponsor a expensive and a difficult plan retorno. If you as government take step to safeguard the rights for work, for lands, for political power of the minority that is the owner of the territory, automatically the effect will happen, because when the others see that you have limits and they don't give for more, they will just adjust, or get back to their origin, because they have options which we don't have. They have options which we don't have. This is our, and we don't have no other way to run to. They come from somewhere else. You get me? And they overrun over the capacity of the islands. So it does will happen in a natural way, timely, while you protect as a government, as a state, that minority, in the jobs, in the political, power, with the lands, etc. That's what J. Forrester called the principle of attraction and disattraction. When you protect that people, that core people, the owners, then it become a distraction for the rest. You get me? It become a
Mm-hmm.
distraction for the rest, because they can't look on the land anymore on the island. Like if it's a wild land and anybody can come and take care of it. No, you see the complication to get job, to get power, to get lands, because it's limited, and the priority is set for the other one. So it causes a distraction, and automatically they place the eye somewhere else. Might be beside the department where they live. If they coming from Bolivar, they try somewhere else, they try another space. But this territory has become disattracted to them, because it is safeguarded. You bind it legally for the owner of the land.
Exactly. So that is one of the things that, yeah, we have to pressure for the law to be clear, and which we think it clear, but it's still not clear. It's still not clear as it should be. So that's why I have so much confusion. But
Yes.
yeah, I think we have to do that, because we have too much people on the island, man. Too much people. You would have at least, let's say you have 60,000 non-racial people living on the island, which I think maybe is more, all up to 70,000 people. And what would you do on an island where you can't work? 70,000 people can't work. Is either want to be one social chaos, or the government, or they have to go somewhere else to work to get a job. Even why so much Raizales they work on tourist ship and all over the place working because they can't find a good job home in their own land.
Right.
And the
Right.
same thing with land to hire, the same thing with the land that is
But
even as serious. And we know that when I don't know how about if this continue like that, very soon you will have Raizal people. Maybe you even have Raizal people right now that don't have inheritance or then sell their land and they don't have where to build a house.
totally, any amount, any amount you have right now. That's why we have to safeguard the lands for us, the jobs for us, and the political power and other services. And that is not being selfish, as well many can be saying. It's not being selfish. As what the Constitutional Court said more over and over, you are talking about a situation of survival. This thing past the limits. The land sell, the territory are under risk to good for nobody because when get deteriorated, the underground water, everything is being contaminated, all the natural resources. This is something chaotical,
Sick, very chaotic.
not selfishness, because we always contradict that. Racial people is somebody that welcome and love to help visitor and foreigners. All our history, our ancestors demonstrated that. It does that. Our house gone over the limit long ago and badly ago. And it's just normal as a human being between the foreigner and the visitor and your children and yourself. Logically, you have to choose yourself. The visitor have another choice. He have lands, and in a magnitude you don't imagine more than what we have. Dr. Ralph keep reminding us all the ways, and we share a comment there that is shared there with us I think it's from YouTube or YouTube channel. We should expect that the colonizer government take out an emergency act. He said he don't know about law, but he guess it could be a decree. An emergency act saying that the island's temporary maximum population is 50,000 people. He continue insisting and showing us the urgency to something like this. And why he say an emergency act is because he himself, Dr. Ralph, and his government, and all these years until now, 14 years after, continue insisting on no response from the government, neither local nor national, to do the carrying capacity study, to set that limit that he's saying here, a limit that he does, temporarily, because if we wait 20 more years for them to do the carrying capacity study, we don't have the perception that the place and the fact that the place is overpopulated. So let's set something. That's what he's saying here. I'm trying to explain what he's saying here. I hope he could connect. That I want to send you the link. I don't know if you are on duty, but if you can connect, those join us a few minutes in studio. I'm sending. Yes.
And Hyro, I know you mentioned that this thing can take long, and it can be 30 years, whatever. But I think, as what Dr. Al suggesting, if they declare this emergency, like an emergency situation, the and the government really serious about it and take this thing serious, this thing can solve quicker, a lot quicker.
Sure.
Because even you have a lot of continental people on the island that are really not living life. I mean, they are suffering too, especially this violence. I know a lot of Raizal people are being murdered, but a lot of continentals too, and they are suffering. Plenty of them maybe are even jobless and don't have where to live. All these things, and if they get a better opportunity in their own place, in a very humanitarian manner, I think there would be who don't want to go home or be among their own people and their own culture and all of these things.
Yes.
But the government have to take it serious. You have to be something really serious.
See,
Yeah.
You see, the government, for example, when they start attending the situation of our population, one of the first thing they did, and until today, the majority, they are the Colombian, or even some people here can't even understand why they take such a drastic step. They limited the right of circulation that exists in Colombia. That's a right. All of us have a right to move around freely on this in this place, you know. But they limit it on one place in Colombia, which is the archipelago. Why? Because the archipelago is in an exceptional situation, urgency, a situation of overpopulation that is carrying it to its total destruction of the territory with its resource and of the destruction of a people collectively. Okay. So he restrict that right. And the same way how he restrict that right of circulation, it is in the same manner that we say you have to restrict many other things in order to protect those other things that we mentioned, the land, the jobs, the political power, and other things, subsidies to education, health, etc. Because
Health,
you're not living a normal situation. This is something
exactly.
extraordinary.
For example, we have a big criticism right now, a big thing, and you know it, that we have the worst health service on the island. And it's not that we have the worst health service on the island, you know, Hyro. Is that the health service that we have is not sufficient for so many people. You know what I mean? If we had the half of the population that we have right now, the medical service on the island, uh, I think would be good. You know, so that is the problem. Just like with the work and with the education, with everything, because you have to just spread out the little way you have. Like if we, you and serve and Pata run down with 10 people and with 30 people, which one I give you some more food?
Good. We have an next caller again from Good News Radio online. Our attorney and farmer director of the Okre, Brother Joseph Barrera Kelly. Uh, Brother Joseph, welcome. Good morning.
To the radio listeners of this program and to Brother Edgardo. Well, I want to say something. San Andres is in a spot of no return right now. Let us be realistic. Not pessimistic, but realistic. This is time to be realistic. When you go around and look around in the island and you see all the situation that is San Andres people have, native people have, 30% of the land in the territory, 30 to 40. 40 is plenty, but 30% of the land is for Raizal and 70% for the outsiders. The Raizal people make up 20% of the population. I have around 120,000 or more people in the island. All the land in the town owned by outsiders. The people who are working in the town are 70% is outsiders, 30% is Raizal. I'm going still being going high, but still 30%. Raizal is only implying their own territory. Raizal do not control the economy. Raizal do not control politics. Raizal do not control absolutely nothing in the island. And soon they will take away the churches. People are kind of what I said. They don't believe that, but I can prove from what been happening that soon they will take over the churches. It's majority carried in everything. When it comes to election and decision, majority carried. And there are going to be majority in the churches. Next thing, the economical factor, which is very important. Raizal do not have job. Raizal cannot give tithe and collect an offering. So if the Continental have the money to give tithe and offering, the church need the money to move on. You see, church cannot go along without money. So it will come to a situation where they're going to take over everything. Well, they take over all the Adventists. We can prove from when they start with the Adventists and they have almost all the churches. They start they have Baptists now, and they're going to move into everything and take over everything. You see, because we, the people of San Andres, do not want to understand that we are so divided and so messed up, in little things, for example, religion, politics, it keeps us divided, denominationalism, everything keeps us divided. And the problem go deeper than that. We are a people before religion, we're a people before politics, we are a people, and that's what we have focus on. We need to come together in the thing that is common that to us, that is what is affecting us all as a people, as a community, because it's less thing that the little thing that separates us, we can put that apart, but there is thing that is common to all of us. I will talk about the total destruction. I can see that the underground water is totally and completely polluted because they make studies, and the whole underground water is, the people are drinking filth, they're drinking shit, excuse me the word, they are bathing with it. Because just 2 weeks ago, a lady went to Medellin, and he make a test on her skin, and the DD is on her skin, and he make a urine test, and he came out with DD also. And when we go downtown, we can see what is there under what is coming up and what is floating and what we are smelling. And it's the same. They're taking the water from the same ground, so and processing it, but giving it back to us. So this is a difficult situation that we have to face as a people. But I think there is a solution if we can just. Everybody is not going to come together, but if the people who call themselves conscious people or people who are aware of the situation and want to do something, then I think there is a possibility for us to do something. Because when you come to both San Andres and this problem now, you have 20, 30, 40 different groups, and every one of them insists and been telling the community that they are fighting for the people, they are fighting for the community, and everything is about restoring back dignity to the people and empowering the people. But when you come down now and see that if that's true what they are saying, why is it we can't come together, all the groups that exist in the island, everybody, and come together and say, let us sit down and find out. But it seems like everybody have a personal agenda or a personal interest, and if we do not break from that, we are lose, we are doomed, brother. So that's my participation, and have a wonderful day, and thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, brother, Dr. Joseph. But yes, I think we all agree that is something common in us, indeed, that we agree that of this situation of the overpopulation and all the damages that they're discussing.
How are you? The
And
document that Coralina issue
yeah,
was I think was what they call it, alerta or yellow. I think it's yellow alert in English. That they are requesting the government, the departmental government, to declare a yellow alert in response to all these things that we're talking about. The critical environmental and public health situation that is affecting the island. And they highlight all the different technical studies, all the things that it revealed, the untreated wastewater that Dr. Barrera mentioned, groundwater is contaminated, garbage is accumulating in public spaces and tourist areas, and so they are requesting the local government, because Carolina can't do that. I think it's the government who needs to declare the yellow alert, so that they can take immediate and urgent measures. Imagine they took them so long to issue that recommendation, and
yes,
how long the government is going to take to follow. I mean, if it's coming from Coralina, the environmental authority on the island, with backup and supported by all the technical scientific studies, and it get to the governor office today, should that wait more than a day or 2 days to do that? You know what I mean? And make the national government come in and help. But it's going to stay there, and who knows how long it's going to be before they declare it. You know?
this calling for a massive manifestation of the people. When we don't act this kind of way, we end up they get accustomed, and too tolerant to the thing that is killing us. Dr. Joseph Barrera explained again, as we said, the delicate situation, how this place gone, and
It's
how
true.
print right now, it don't have no way to save, neither the territory, neither we the people. And still we keeping going on like we learn to live in a mud hole. Like,
Exactly.
like we become comfort, like we become accustomed to the mud, as Brother Jorge Garnica say, we are not living, we are surviving. We say it long ago. Okay. And it need to a really massive reaction of the people again. We did it already in the past many times, but we went out to sleep after many promises came out. When the strike that take over the airport, the main issue was overpopulation. And we went to sleep because unfortunately we have some offices like the Ocre, like Coralina, another one, that somehow we are being kidnapped by politicians that is nothing else but behind the money. So those offices that locally, we keep the pine finger over there in Bogota, that Bogota should solve the problem. Bogota have a lot to solve. The national government have a lot to pay and to repair what this place end up into. But locally, we have certain possibilities to take step. And these offices, when it was in the hand, like Coralina, in the case when it started in Jumari, Mo, and it was taking firm and serious step. From a while ago, this office don't showing nothing absolutely good. But those like a 14 Politico, where they after the big budget that the office handle, and they perform like they are working and doing things. I was saying to you last night, Pastor Gardo, that many professionals that study in environmental disciplines, careers, are living here in the island frustrated to see this office kidnapped by corrupted politicians and
Yeah, that's
puppet professionals that giving themselves to those do and follow the others that they mandate to them, without absolutely no the minimum environmental consciousness. They
yeah,
are some puppet.
yeah,
And those are the offices that could help us to start take steps because they have the power, they have the resource, they have the authority. And the same thing with the Okra, that instead of taking serious step to solve the extreme population density, they are those enjoying themselves taking out card and selling card and taking out card and taking out card, and the essential things, the core thing, like working on the population carrying capacity, they don't do that. They don't deal with that. So that's the situation that we have. The people have to manifest, and we have to promote the manifestation of the people against the same local offices that are not doing anything, against these politicians that have it kidnapped years after years and humiliating the professional. As I was telling you, many professionals are frustrated because many young professionals having the fire and the passion in them to do something to fix this problem, but they find themselves blackout because they are not in the control of the office. They look for a job there, they look for a job in next place, but they don't simply there sitting and hatting the seat when they have the passion and the eagerness to do something. That passion is frustrated because the politician will not permit to do anything of consequence. They denigrated. They have them even bowing down to them undignifiedly looking and get every time a contract to renew to those subdued to them. This is something undignified that have to be stopped.
yeah.
We have to raise our voice and protest against these type of politicians. Behind all this, I see that the politicians.
Yes, yes, you are right, brother Jairo. Other than the serious problem of overpopulation is a serious problem of corruption. Because you are right. Those working in the director of the Ocre, the director of Coralina, people in the gobernacion, secretaries, and all these people,
The
we
governor.
could do a lot better, brother Jairo, with what we have. Those people at the hospital, like, work, we could do a lot better with what we already have. I mean, when I was, at Coralina at the beginning, you were on the board, I was working there. Jairo, and one of my prayer all the time while working at Coralina, and even after I left Coralina, my prayer was not to make Coralina politicize. Let's not let Coralina. We were there with Miss June Mary and so on, Harold. Not one person was hired or contract there because of political influence. It was friendship, and oh, we needed someone to do this. Oh, I know somebody who is good at that, and people loved it, and they would work any amount of hours. There was a sense of belonging and a desire to really, really fulfill the law and care for our island and our environment. The very minute we allow politics to get in there, I don't know in what moment that happened, it politicized, and Coralina is completely out of hand. That they are not really complete. It's not it's not the Coralina that we need and or that we had. And the same thing with the okra. The same thing with when Brother Bill was at the okra and starting out and all these things. But where is the okra now? What are they doing? So corruption really is another problem. Other we can get all the good laws, Brother Hyro, get all the laws that we are fighting for, but we have to solve that problem of corruption too. And what Dr. Barrera was saying, yes, we can't be pessimist. We have to be realistic, but we also have to be proactive, and we have to help our people to wake up and realize that we don't need to be living in the mud or accustomed to stay in the mud, that we need to rise up as the song that we put every morning. We need to rise up. Raizal need to rise up and claim their rights and fight for their rights and demand their rights and protest. I mean, we have to stand up and come together. We can't be fighting as someone was saying, divided here. We really have to come together. If not, as the court said once, we are going to disappear as a people.
Right, right. One ex legal case, we gone very deep in this. It was a report of accountability, but we had to. Our style of accountability is different than others' offices. we we can't stop and go down. That's not limited to share information, but we need a process of education really deeply. So we take it. We so sorry if you don't like this style, but we needed to go. Apart from giving those information that we did this and did that, you need to understand profoundly what we're dealing with, and we take the time. We are getting to the end of the program, but before I mention, we have those 2 minutes. Or if you like, we can go over a little bit. I don't know how you are with time, but
Well, we have that flexibility, so
yeah, we have
we
it.
are on
Yeah,
our own time.
we are in our one time. Yes. So let's go look a bit further. We want to move on. This that we was talking about. We was talking about the linguistic right. Okay, and we connect it. Okay, with the problem of our population, and we end up here in a long, deep, profound analysis. Yeah, that's why we object that law about the Afro-Raizalidad, because it's very superficial. It's extremely superficial and facilista, and our problem go deeper than that. So we expect that these representatives in the Congress dominate the profoundness of our problem and don't be those maquillaje, and superficial things. It's go further and deeper than that. It's not solving anything profoundly. So we touch one more legal case that we tend to as the Raizal Authority. We are surrounding the community there in Norton of the section known as Black Dog. Most people might don't know where this Black Dog neighborhood stay. We are surrounding them because they are suffering terrible. Part of the consequence of those type of, we talking about the overpopulation, another culture that came in. They don't sleep, they don't live properly through the noise of pickups and pickups, selling of rums and drugs and so in their surrounding. In spite, they have some sport field there and some law that limit that those type of activity of selling a rum and certain business to be around there are no authority to comply with them. In spite they win Action Popular, still the executive power is not acting properly. To the contrary, those leaders around there and people that are standing up for their rights are under menace and threat by these disorderful people that those care for themselves and don't think for nobody else. They don't have no consideration and no police to put other. Usually the police make business out of selling of drugs and other things because they get their tips. They are not exercising no type of authority, and they are those simple delaying and delaying and delaying and delaying the thing. The Raizal authority is determined and take decision to go to the maximum action of legal step that it can be taken to carry the case further, and sue whoever have to sue to stop this thing. And this thing must stop, and order must be in that neighborhood, and that order should be replicated to all other neighborhood on the island that we guarantee a peaceful place that we once own. Independently of Champetu, whoever and what they like and what they are, respect must be on this territory for the owners and the peace and welfare of the people.
It's really sad, brother Hyro, what I heard about that situation with Black Dog. All these different court ruling that they have, and still the executive power is not functioning. They went to work, and the judicial did their job, power did their job, and now the executive power need to execute those things. And I don't know. I mean, it's just. I can't believe what I'm hearing. And so I think we need to make sure that we need to set a precedent. If somebody have to go to jail because when a tutela is not comply, for example, and a court order is not comply, and the governor don't comply, or whoever have to comply, they don't comply, they go jail. And so if we have to go to those extremes, we have to do it, but we have to set a precedent with this case. I admire those ladies, Miss Francis, what's her full name?
Melania.
Miss Melania, and all the leaders them around there. Octavio Mo, I think, has been involved, and many others. I really appreciate what they are doing, and just to encourage them not to give up, and we continue to support them as much as we can. But again, the corruption, brother Hyro, and the politicization of everything.
Exactly. So that's an excuse that we surround the people with our attorneys, RDC, the Raizal Development Center, and the Raizal Council, the Raizal Authority, the Raizal Diaspora. We are surrounding Black Dog. They are not alone. It's not a situation against X or Y individual around there, but against the Raizal people. You are disturbing the peace of the Raizal territory and the Raizal people. You are robbing away something that ancestrally we conserve, respect, concern for one another. These people are those simple selfish and think man themselves, nobody else. If they have some nice or pickup or sounding equipment to put on, they do it without consideration for nobody else. Those thinking them themselves selfishly. They want to sell and do things any way they want. When time you have a land use plan, a plan de ordenamiento territorial, which the law and the government, the gobernación, planeación should exact. And there are those dear dormant, and again behind politician is behind this, and the slackness of the government. We are on that case. The next case is in environment and development. The carrying capacity study or model. Population carrying capacity model or study. We talk about. This is a legal case that we are accompanying the AMNSD, the Archipelago Movement for Native Self-Determination, that placed a demand. I think that was in 2022. They win, and the tribunal locally give them the right and order the local government to proceed and do this carrying capacity study to design a population carrying capacity model, in other words, because this place have limits, and scientifically they must point it out and show the limits and show the affectation that this uncontrolled population is casting on our culture, on our jobs, on our water, in our sea, in every single thing. That's what the carrying capacity study or model will show. It will identify all the different variables that are interconnected and one touch and affect another one, and it call for a number mathematically. It will tell you more or less what is the ideal population that this place can stand. Okay, that's a lawsuit that MNSD started forcing the government and the tribunal accept it, and the Consejo de Estado ratified in 2024. Unfortunately, in the month of January, we attend the Raizal Authority along with MNSD, we accompany them, and RDC. And unfortunately, on that hearing, it was so shameful. We talk about it already in this program. How none of the office system that have to do with this local office or national office did absolutely anything significantly toward the order of the judicial power, the tribunal again the tribunal doing their part, again the judicial power doing their part, and again this slack worthless executive power that we have. They are doing absolutely nothing but fooling them pocket and robbing away the future of the people. It's so no so Pastor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree.
That's what happened. We was in the hearing, and we are having the second hearing very soon with the tribunal and Ali's office again to see what they come back with now. The tribunal gave them a chance from January, February, March, April, May, 4 or 5 months to see if they come back with something.
Yeah. And Hyra, this is a ruling that have 3 years now, at least more than 2 years, and not one single step, not one thing has been done as yet. So I hope that Noemi Carreño, who is the magistrate, really take this thing, very with the responsibility that it requires, and that that these entities comply with their job.
Yes, necessary. So we are pending of this. This is a legal case that we're going on with. So, and the last one to done here, there is a legal case that one of our attorney leading out around the protection of the seabed. You call it in Spanish the lecho marino. That we sometimes forget, and in our ignorance, I include myself, my ignorance of most things, of the importance of the sea and that seabed, as a source, a origin of life. We take it slightly. All the contamination of this overpopulation and this massive tourism that come in, the slackness and the sorrowful way to handle the solid waste, the garbage, which is ending in the sea, microscopic local elements are causing damages to the life in the sea, and is affecting us greatly. A legal action had been taken here by one of our attorney, and fortunately, it seemed like it wouldn't be a fight with the offices then, because all of them accept the reclaim that we made, that they have to come up and protect the seabed and everything connected there with it. This week, talking with our environmental engineer here on the island, I was amazed that to know, he said the National University have that study that San Andres Sea is the most, or I think is the coastal. I don't have the study, and I'm just repeating what I hear. I promise to look for it. The most contaminated place in the world. I said it can't be. He said yes. When they did the study, they thought it was a mistake, and they added to repeat it again. I mean, this overpopulation, we don't measure in the impact that it's doing on the territory. I can't believe it yet. Believe me, I can't believe it yet. I'm just repeating what I hear. And as well, Dr. Barrera said a while here, and I hear from other people, all the water that we are drinking here from the even, and bathing with, the amount of sickness is causing us. They have uncontrolled management of solid waste, of garbage from time to time. Okay. So we taking legal action again around this. Because how you fight the problem then? As well as Edgardo always said, and we agree and we do that, one of the main channel or forefront to fight all these problems is legally. Because usually the law is on our favor, but the what they slack executive power are not aligning and complying with the law. So one of the main way to fight is legally. You know, it take your time, it take your time, it take your money, it take your dedication. But that's one of the way. Another way is sitting down and dialoguing friendly with the political power, the government, to see if they can reason and understand and take steps. But you don't see much from that another channel of dialogue, political dialogue with them. And the third way is to the people have to come to extreme and manifesting themselves and doing strikes and so forth to get the reaction and the action of the government. You know, so that's why we highlight here this series of legal case that we are working on because we are convinced that is one of the main channel, you know, that we can use to overcome the situation that we are living in.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. This overpopulation problem is just the heart and the root of everything. But again, two things. One what Bill Francis always mentioned, Brother Hyro, is we have to go back to God. Uh, that's why I like that program that we have, you know. If my people pray, that Dr. Siegfried is leading. Because a lot of these things, Hyro, maybe people don't see it and so on, but a lot of these things that we are suffering,
Very
you
good.
see it in the Bible, is when God people stray away from God and start living in a dark, sinful life. You know what I mean? And so we, our people, have to come back to God, and then and yes, we have to work towards these things. You know, overpopulation and all of these things that are going on. But we really have to be intentional about it, serious about it, responsible about it. This is not a joke. We are dying, or the violence on our island right now is another issue that we didn't have. Maybe we used to have this problem, you know, all the other problems, but this is another problem that has been added to everything that we are suffering on the island. We have the drug addiction that we have, uh, you know, all these different way our resources. We People can't get fish or lobster or their food as they once were. Crab. I mean, it's just it's just a mess, brother Hyro. That so much things, but I think it start with us also moving back to God and becoming conscious of our need for God to guide and lead us and bless us and heal our land. Our land need healing, and a lot of these things are the consequence of us straying away from God.
Right. Is very profound indeed, the spiritual dimension of this that we're living. We invite the people here. We announcing every day from Monday to Friday. We have around approximately 10 minutes at midday. At midday, starting at 11:55 a.m. Colombian time. We start. I have a streaming live program we call "If My People Pray," and we have different one that join in every day, independently of the um, religious denomination, Baptist, Catholic, Adventist, whatever. We all together come every midday for around 10 minutes. And if we pass our activity, freeze our thing that we're doing, and we go to prayer. The power and the need of prayer. So we invite you to join us. We are there also with that program on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook channel, and on our online radio also. Okay, so we come to the end of this program. Uh, Thank you for listening to us again this morning. Next week, we will bring the topic that we have to. Our guest didn't get to connect this morning. He was traveling, and I think he got set back. The topic around the reconstruction of the islands of Providence and Catalina. We'll give you a report about the situation by one of our brethren from the Raizal Authority there in Providence. Providence, we give thanks for Providence and Catalina. Fortunately, they are not in this exact situation we are in San Andres with our population. You know, they have a more manageable situation, and we celebrate that and wish and stand with them that they don't become something like what San Andres is now facing. Thank you. Your last word, Pastor, and we go on.
Yeah, no, just let's close with prayer.
All right.
Heavenly Father, we thank you again for this day. Thank you for all that was discussed in this program. All those who participated and all those who have been listening in their homes. And we just want to lift up again our islands in your hands. You see the situation that we're living, the chaos, the social chaos, environmental chaos, spiritual chaos. You see our island, Lord, is hurting and need healing. And so we pray, Lord, that you will help us as a people to turn to you, to humble ourselves, to seek your face and to pray, and knowing that your promise to heal will happen. So we pray our blessings upon San Andres Island, upon our people. Continue to lead and guide us as Raizal Development Center, Raizal Council, Brother Jairo, Pastor Alberto, and all those who are working along with us, our attorneys, and those in our streaming radio, Ryan, and those helping us in the technical control, and our homes and families, Lord. We lift them up before you, those mourning death of loved ones. Just have mercy upon our islands and continue to lead and guide us. Show us the way to go. Show us what we can do, what we should do, and give us wisdom and to do the right thing. We pray for unity, Lord, that you will bring unity among our leadership and help us to work with one aim and one purpose. We thank you and we bless you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor.
All righty.
He connected? No, he didn't.
Until next Friday.
Until next Friday. Bye-bye.
All right. God bless. Bye-bye.
Raizal people, it's time for the uprising. Let us rise and shine.
When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when you feel like giving up, as you try to bother him,
when you feel like smiling, but your heart feels so trill, yeah. Don't give up, rest if you will, but keep your unbroken will, yeah.
Like the sun, the moon, and the stars in the sky. Again and again, lift your head high. So please, don't you cry. God, oh God, He will satisfy.
Once again, me say rise, I shall rise. When no have time to cry, everything will be fine. We feel stand strong, it's time to move on. Where I could reach to the stars, to the moon, to the sun.
This is something me want to know fi understand. Rise and people give thanks to the Almighty One. Cause all of the grown are singing song. Rise and shine, so shall sing in a this a song.
Rise and shall rise. Where there is light, there will be hope. Rise and shall rise. Oh, no, no, Jah, that you go. Let us all unite with one heart and soul.
One day our hearts will no more be poor. All the pain and suffering rise up, it will surely work.
The day we come together and stand up with determination, then Raizal nation will shout out for liberation. To take back the territory. Cause this land that we fight to free our being. Free the chains and bandage of colony.
Far away from home, but still worry about their own. Make the strength to not be colonized. Therefore, it had to run.
Waiting for it, diaspora, through the island in the sun. Rise and shine out your Raizal, all ye daughters and sons, yeah.
And again, it will be nice. Do not yourself minimize. Sense of belonging must be sky high. Stand up, sunrise now, where the sun of the sky.
Leave the high nights of the row and fear. Just remember Jah come when the morning clear. Praise Jah and put your hand up in the air. In Jah hand now everything gone clear.
Wake up and live, Raizal. We soon clear the hill. If we stick together still, no way they could break our will.
It's time to be great again. Arise and shine. Wake up and live. Booyaka, sayaka, mayaka.
To free oneself from this corruption, so there will be no more pollution from colonizers, barbaration. In the name of the creator of creation.